Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Much appreciated, Coach. Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The wait is finally over. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
Ready to break. 50 seconds to Mike. I'm coming for you. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, here's Lock. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line.
Set. 18 Gator. Check 56. Go, Cap. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Lock. Caught by Jones. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Lock to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to find Dorsett. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Philip Dorsett, 54 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Bird. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 11 yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And I think we're all eager to see how this offense responds because we know this is a big spot. National TV game to start the season. The whole league and the whole country watching this one. Last year, though, the Packers, the Bears, neither one of them did a whole lot offensively. A 10-3 final. Let's see if the defenses exert their will early in this one.
To throw on second down. Byrne. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
This is Scarborough. And an alley to run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here we go. Alert 3, alert 1. Alert 3.
Off the play fake. Byrne. He's got his man on the crossing route. And the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals grab it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on third down, Lock. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Zach Taylor, a new breed of head coach. He's going to go for it on fourth down. Lock to throw for it on fourth. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going forward there was the right call.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off play action. Byrne. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. There for the sack, Emerson Griffin. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a second down coming up. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. They run. This is Scarborough. Pushes over him.
Now, that's just not right.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Looking to throw. Bird. It's caught. Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing on first down. Burn. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd and 4. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, his second sack of the night. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And this one held in by Rudolph. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big 30-yard play on third. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Scarborough. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, when you got a guy who's a dual threat out of the backfield, go ahead and use him. And that's exactly what they've done on back-to-back plays here. Picked up big chunks of yardage, once in the air and once on the ground.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bird. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. 2nd and 3. Buying time to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Taking it in from 14 yards out. As they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that's
blitz coming, and down he goes. Miles Jack with a sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a run with Geis. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. McKenzie now to return it. "34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Watch the safety creep. Go, go. Check the backer, check the backer. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Looking to throw. Bird going up top. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Brings up 3rd down and 17.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
That's going to be a long day. Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Watch the screen.
Operating from the gun. Byrne. He's going to launch this thing way down. And that's caught inside the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
That's good for Jaguars. 1st down.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt. Right hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we have reached half. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, okay? Sit up. We got to step it up. Sit. Go.
2nd and 6. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Exit. Switch.
To throw on 3rd down. Byrne. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Everson Griffin make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Locke. Able to find Shaheen here. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hey, turn it up. Check 37. Squeeze.
Back to throw. Bird. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And that's complete to Cooks. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Here we go.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and that will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, That's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after them, and they get up. He'll get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Complete. Smith has it. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the 4th. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making the play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Barber on 1st and 10. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. From the 29, Locke. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to have a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run here with Barber. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
I'm on. Watch twist. Next box. Right. Switch off.
Looking to throw. Bird trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
You got nothing. Deuce. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On 4th down, Bird. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Though certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation.
Set, ready? 8, read.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.